If a dog is a man's best friend, it's practically a boy's brother. Miles's dog, a Siberian Husky, was always by his side, always patiently excited for the next walk. A routine adventure that I can assure you was certainly more exciting for him than it was for anybody who somehow had the strength to walk him. That dog's spirit was a welcome energy in the Cadian household. At that time, the unconditional excitement and eagerness was such a rarity, they didn't know how to approach it some days, but they always wound up with smiles and laughter. So they kept him around, and he kept radiating unnecessary joy. Intense energy aside, Miles became pleasantly surprised by his company. When he needed to, the dog would sit or lay on his bed and listen. Did it help that Miles's thoughts really were being received by a dog of all people? Or was it just helpful that those thoughts and internal ideas were safe between the two of them? I don't think anybody could really tell you, except the two of them. Not even me. But that's always the better option anyway. One day, like most dogs, he found an opportunity. Something scurrying across the road. To this day, they don't know what it was. And then, like a few dogs, he chased after it. A high that only an eager and excited dog like him could feel that intensely. And then, like an unfortunate handful of dogs, he didn't come home to show off his catch. And Miles was back to caging his thoughts all within his own head. Some time had gone by, and Miles had created an established foundation for himself in his own dream world. Infinite landscapes and everything at his will, and no one to share it with. It made him think about his brother, how private their adventures were, and how present he always was. It was a Herculean task, but after enough self-teaching and training, he tried his hand at channeling all those memories and all those connections and all that love into his next evolution. Later, in the same dream, the dog appeared, more ready for the next adventure than ever. Some wouldn't bring him back as anthropomorphic as Miles did, but for Miles, it made the dog more of who he already was. His brother. And the first thing they did together was fly planes, then sail boats, then ride motorcycles, anything but driving. And the adventures blossomed into all the wonderful impossibilities they had talked about growing up. Dinners at the top of the world, hunting dinosaurs, exploring the oceans, or sometimes just something as simple as spending time talking about life in a treehouse that floated above the water of a never-ending horizon. He never once questioned any of it. For all he knew, this was the only life that he existed in. To question it would be to invite non-existence. But surprisingly, the dog never once thought about that horrid thought. All he would think about is how exciting it was to be with his brother in a completely new and more expressive form. If this is what it was like to be a human, to actually speak with the people you love, to be just as capable as the people he loved, it helped him be at an unprecedented level of comfort. There would be things that elicited an eyebrow raise here and there, sure. Thoughts that didn't push the boy towards growth, relapsing him into grief or loneliness. But it wasn't anything the dog couldn't protect Miles from. Nothing that he couldn't lose in the chase to a perfect adventure. This is the next character of Project 78. The one person in the world that Miles felt he could truly trust and rely on. The one character who knew just how wonderful this dream life could be like. This is Spickey. Thanks for watching, everybody. I know I'm not consistent on this channel, but there is a purpose for that. I am choosing to release videos when I am able to, versus to appease the algorithm. So they will come out when they're ready and when I am mentally sane. But I will say, after this video with Spickey, it definitely feels like I am going to be uploading more frequently because of how much progress I've been making. So to put in perspective, Miles from start to finish took me roughly 7 months to produce. With Spickey, I mean, granted, he still has some things I need to work out. He took me maybe 1 month. So the fact that I'm able to go from 7 months to 1, from one character to another, is a huge boost in my confidence and believing that I can actually do this. So I'm definitely going to be uploading a lot more. That time also, that 1 month working on Spickey, that's not including the set that I wound up making as well. So be on the lookout for that. If you would like to support this project and more in the future, please consider joining the Patreon, and I would love to see you there. Thanks again for all your support.